Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Wi-Fi with your two hosts, Eros
and Double T.
Today, we're back with some more Marvel information. We've actually gotten quite a bit recently with some new seasons of shows, new movie or two, especially some new movies coming out.
So, we've gotten a couple trailers. What If Season 1, or Season 2, sorry, has been announced for Christmas. For 9 days straight, I think, leading up to Christmas. Sorry.
Oh, wow. 9 days before Christmas. We're getting 9 new episodes, I'm guessing, an episode each day?
Yep.
Wow, that's surprising considering normally TV shows nowadays would be like, oh, like an episode every week or two.
And honestly, I'm kind of excited for some of them.
I watched the trailer. They look interesting.
I actually have the titles of the episodes right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
They got leaked.
What do we got?
What if Gamora killed Thanos? Which is the same Gamora from the first season that we saw.
Okay.
Her episode got cut, so now we're getting it now.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
What if Captain Carter finds the Hydra Stomper? Which was a teaser at the end of the last episode last season.
The Hydra Stomper?
That's the old Iron Man suit.
The original one?
That Steve piloted.
Okay.
It's like how there's always a Captain America, there's going to be an Iron Man type of thing.
Makes sense.
What if the Tesseract landed in the... I do not want to say that word because I'll butcher it.
Okay.
But it's...
Let me see. What's the word? Which one? Oh, yeah, okay.
It's...
to me, it looks like Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee, but I could be wrong.
That's definitely better than what I would say. I do have a Funko soda of this character. She's brand new. It's basically if the Tesseract landed somewhere else in an Indian village.
So in India somewhere?
No, I think it's still America.
Native American village?
She gets the Space Stone powers, so it's really cool. She opens up a bunch of portals at once.
Ooh, okay. I can get behind that.
What if Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne fought the Red Guardian during the 1980s?
Oh, very specific. Okay, interesting.
I'm starting to think this list isn't correct in a bunch of places.
Okay. I mean, it's the information we have for now. It's leaks, so it's not going to be 100% correct. I guarantee you some of those are fake.
Because I think that one's supposed to be switched out for the Avengers in the 1950s.
Okay.
Because we saw very old style of Avengers with like fencing weapons.
I mean, it could be older style Avengers using fencing weapons, or it could just be that that's what they had on hand during that fight scene.
What if Yondu delivered Star-Lord to Ego?
Ooh.
So I think that's the one where we saw the Avengers with the old characters. So younger Hank Pym, younger Janet Van Dyne.
Interesting.
The older Black Panther King.
Wow. That I'm looking forward to.
This one, I think, has been announced to release on Christmas Eve. What if Happy Hogan Saved Christmas? I think is like a Die Hard
spoof kind of.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that one, it makes sense. But I'm still sticking to my guns if Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
This is another one I think I didn't see at all. What if Wanda had grown up watching musicals instead of sitcoms?
Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. No.
Which is a good...
It's a good idea.
But I don't think we actually saw that in the trailer.
I don't remember seeing that in the trailer.
What if Odin and Hela had faced Wenwu, Shang-Chi's father?
Okay.
So two warlords fighting each other, basically.
Ooh,
Which we did see in the trailer.
We did see that, yeah, because I definitely saw Odin.
And what if the Avengers had fought Surtur? Which
Surtur?
I don't think we saw either. These titles don't seem like anything.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Surtur in the trailer.
But
unless they just took a different creative approach. But
Captain Carter came to live action with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
yeah.
So it would be cool to see these variants become live action.
I will
One
say, what I like about the What If season specifically is the fact that because we have the multiverse now inside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they have the ability to be like, okay, X, Y, and Z episodes were the most popular, so we'll take references from these episodes and put them into our movies to further elaborate on, like, this is a part of the multiverse. Like, this relates to the movies and could be potentially important.
I just wish there were more seasons of What If.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, with the amount of content they could put out for What If, even just stuff that, like, maybe they'll put out an episode and we never hear about it again, but it was entertaining, I don't understand why they're not pumping out more of these What Ifs.
Because the movies are not doing the multiverse, like, justice at all.
I mean, that's true.
The only movie to really do the multiverse justice was, honestly, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, because even Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, like, it was good, it was entertaining, but it really missed some points.
They only went to one different multiverse.
Yeah. You had the whole cutscene where they technically, like, went through multiple, but that wasn't quite the same experience as them being in a multiverse and interacting with it.
So let's switch to the Sony universe, which might be connected to the MCU now.
I'm hoping, because technically we had the Spider-Man movies, which connected them, because we also had, Venom in there.
And the Spider-Verse is connecting to the MCU and this universe. It's very confusing on Sony's side.
Yeah, it seems like Sony's, trying to have, like, an underground, like, relationship with Marvel, but they don't want to, like, come public about it yet.
The Madam Web trailer came out.
Which looks really good. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you watch it.
I thought it was going to be bad.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
Because the last time I heard about Madam Web was, like, 2 years ago.
Can you give us, a little bit of background on what or who Madam Web is for the Spider-Verse?
I want to call her a god, but I think she has power over the Spider-Verse, and she becomes like a mentor character.
Okay, so if we put this in terms of, like, D&D, for example, Spider-Man is the warlock to the spider patron, which would be the spider god, whoever that may be. And obviously Spider-Man's just been granted some of the powers. And then Madam Web is essentially their companion, in a sense, where she kind of watches over all of them as, like, a guardian.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best way I can describe it to make the most sense to me. Is she's like the guardian, she's the quote-unquote summon that, you would have in a movie where she's there to, like, support the Spider-Man or stop them depending on what the situation calls for.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I don't know that much, but it seems like she has some kind of time travel powers in this one.
I mean, theoretically, and this is a big if because I don't know all the lore on her, if she's the only Madam Web, I would assume that she would have the ability to traverse between the timelines and between the multiverses. Therefore giving her essentially infinite power, but I'm assuming it's probably constrained to an extent of where she can only go to certain points of each Spider-Man's sort of like own individual existence.
Yeah. And we're getting an evil Spider-Man.
Which I'm stoked to see. He looks badass.
And then we're getting 3 female Spider-Womans.
Which could be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little concerned that they're introducing a total of 4 new Spider-Men women, technically, in one movie. And I feel like that might be a little too overwhelming for people. But I don't know for sure. I'm willing to give it a shot.
It's just... will be confusing if they're Spider-Woman in the universe that they're in, or she sees them as Spider-Woman in a different universe, which would make me upset. So it's like, oh, they don't get powers in this movie. For some reason, they're hunting the non-powered versions.
If they don't get powers, I'll be a little concerned. I could see potentially where it's with how Doctor Strange and Spider-Man kind of messed up the multiverse a little bit and dragged the other two into his universe. I could see it where like their actions had repercussions and caused other Spider-Men or women to be pulled into other universes, and this evil one's essentially a Spider-Man that knows how to traverse between the multiverses, and they're going between multiverses trying to kill versions of Spider-Man / Spider-Woman that they find inferior. I could see that being potentially the storyline, but that's about the extent.
Let's get one thing straight. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man couldn't do what they did if it wasn't for Loki.
Oh.
Which is our next topic.
Right on to Loki Season 2, which I have actually seen a bit about, and I do know the ending.
Which is weird to say because Doctor Strange and Spider-Man came before, but Loki happens in a spot where time doesn't go forward.
I was just about to say, with time, all things are relative. Just saying.
It's confusing. It hurts my head.
Yeah. Doctor Strange didn't have the stones to do what Loki did.
So, Loki Season 2 was pretty good, honestly. Not as good as the last one.
I mean, I can agree.
I wish they would have shown us, like, actual different multiverses. Not just gave us text at the bottom that said, oh, this is a branched timeline. It's like, we're at a McDonald's. It's like, which actually happened in the movie. It's like, how's this a different timeline? It's like, this is boring. Show us a universe where all the humans are cats for some reason.
Just cause.
I was like,
no, they knew what the community would do if they just all of a sudden made all their characters cats. Cat people. They know. They knew they couldn't take that risk. But anyway.
So time was... Oh, spoilers. We're getting into spoiler territory now. Because our next topics are Loki and the Marvels.
Which have already come out. You can definitely watch them. We recommend it, obviously. But we are going to talk about them.
So, the time is breaking. The Loom, which is this massive machine that takes the threads of the multiverse and converts it into energy, is getting overloaded. So the whole time they're trying to get it fixed. They find a Kang variant who knows stuff on the topic. Which, let's talk real quick about... They might be getting rid of Kang.
Yeah, which I think is a dumb idea, but we still are kind of on the fence on it.
At this moment in time, the actor has not been...
Prosecuted,
yeah. So, I don't see a reason to try to switch it to Doctor Doom right away.
My issue with this is it goes back to the Johnny Depp case, where they prosecuted him Well, they didn't prosecute him legally, but essentially the studio that he worked through basically got rid of his roles and got rid of his job because they thought he might be guilty.
We almost got a Pirate of the Caribbeans with the Harley Quinn as Margaret Robbie. Sorry.
That's not the issue. The issue for me is they essentially stopped his movies, kicked him out, fired him, whatever, removed him because they thought he could be guilty. And then once the trials all went through, it turned out, oh, he wasn't guilty the whole time. We did all of that for no reason and upset everyone that loved him as a character and an actor and a person. And now they're doing that to this guy, which, given, we don't know if he's guilty or not, but they kind of pulled the trigger a little. They're kind of seeming to pull the trigger a little too soon for us to know. Which, if it turns out he's innocent, they've already kind of seems like they've killed this character in a sense, and now, it might not be a good idea for them. Just saying.
I don't understand why not a recast.
A recast would be fine. There's plenty of actors that would be amazing for the role.
Like, if he is found proven guilty, okay, just recast.
Yeah.
That's happened with War Machine and the Hulk. People have understood.
Yeah, recast, and you can sum it up with something as simple as there was a multiverse issue. Okay, boom, done. Problem solved.
So, back to Loki. So they get this guy to try to fix the loom. And the loom is not working or getting fixed like they want. Then Loki develops time powers, goes back to the original He Who Remains, and is like, why is nothing working? It's like, and He Who Remains goes, it's working as intended. The loom is only supposed to protect the sacred timeline. That's why everything's getting blown up. I could just rebuild everything. You can't do this without me. And it's Loki going, what do I want? What do I need to do? How do I save everybody? Which leads to one of probably the best moments in the MCU in a while. Loki sacrifices himself and becomes the god of the multiverse.
Okay.
He grabs the dying threads of the multiverses, has to hold on to them. They get attached as a cape to his back. He sits down on a throne and becomes a god, human, loom, and makes the world of Yggdrasil.
Okay.
And it's really cool.
I'm pretty sure he just technically becomes the time stone.
That's a good way to put it. He's
pretty sure essentially that's what happens is he just becomes the time stone.
I'd say that's a good way to put it.
But now my theory kicks in. So theoretically, because of everything that's going on in this season 2, let's say that because he technically encompasses all time and no time all at once, he becomes the time stone by sacrificing himself. Which to me seems very apparent because of all the green and time related and him not appearing anywhere else but also kind of appearing everywhere else. Would that mean that the other stones are technically also characters that have sacrificed themselves to retain, the Power Stone? Or so theoretically, could each stone be related to another character?
I like that theory. So I would say with that, because they did say at one point in the movies, you can't destroy the power of the stones. Mm-hmm. It just gets transferred into the universe. Wanda was the reality stone. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel has the Space Stone powers.
Yeah. Because what it would seem theoretically, let's say, for argument's sake, that Loki is the Time Stone. He now is the Time Stone. The only reason that time works properly is because he's sacrificed himself and all of his power to maintain the timeline. And since it's already been stated that you can't destroy the stone, you have to destroy the power, and then the power gets released in the world. If you killed Loki, all of time would go into chaos because it's all getting released back into just everything. It's not controlled or maintained by one individual. And then in order for the time stone to be brought back into it, like into reality again, or be working again, someone else would have to give up themselves and sacrifice themselves to then create the time stone, essentially. So with each individual power, like the soul stone, whoever was last sacrificed would be in the soul stone. So Black Widow would be in the soul stone. Her soul would be the stone.
That would be a cool MCU moment. Is like, you need to find the 6 people who represent the stones.
Yeah, and then they go back and they walk into the time stone, and it's just Loki sitting there, just aged, like infinitely aging, but also not infinitely aging. They go into the soul stone.
Thor in there. I was like, "Hello, brother."
Yep,
that would be a cool moment.
And it's essentially turned from him controlling the time strands into like him being chained by the time strands.
I was like, what took you so long?
Yeah.
I was like, he saw that. I think we just created a cool MCU moment.
They go into the Soul Stone, and it's every individual who's been sacrificed to create the Soul Stone, or it's just Black Widow because she was the last person to be sacrificed to create it, and she's just there, like, her soul just wandering alone forever. Like, it could be pretty cool.
What were the other stones? Power
Stone would be someone based off of strength. But it was red specifically, right? Or is it orange?
That was purple.
It was purple? It's just Thanos. No, it wouldn't make sense for it to be Thanos. It would have to be a completely different entity.
There was power, time, soul, reality, space.
And I don't know the last one.
Oh, no. It's
either way, theoretically, each stone would be an entity that potentially they would have a conflict of, we have to go and find the 6 who are the stones and either replace them or save them or something.
That just makes me mad because now one of the Eternals would be perfect for that. Mm-hmm. And I don't like those characters.
But, it would beg for a good storyline. Because it's not like they can just touch the stone and be in that stone with the person. They would have to figure out a way to find the entity that's in the stone in whatever dimension they exist in.
Okay, I like that. And now, the Marvels.
And now for our final one.
It was an okay movie.
I'm kind of glad I didn't go. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
The ending was definitely the best part. So, in the first Captain Marvel movie, the Supreme Intelligence was like the one that potentially to be one of the biggest bad, killed instantly in the first movie.
Wow.
And it sets the whole tone for the movie because for some reason killing the Supreme Intelligence sent a shockwave that evaporated all their water, their atmosphere, and their sun. Never explained, but it's like that's what's happening to the world of the Kree.
And that's why they're trying to invade Earth, I'm assuming.
They didn't invade Earth. They were trying to take the sun of Earth to replace their sun.
Okay.
So we finally got to see Miss Marvel. Let's talk about the TV shows real quick.
Okay.
WandaVision showed us Monica Rambeau, who's one of the Marvels. That WandaVision came out, I think, in 2020. So it's been 3 years waiting for her character to have a movie screen time. That's all WandaVision did was introduce us to her and Saber. Miss Marvel introduced us to the character Miss Marvel and her magic band that helped start her powers, which we didn't know what it was officially called. And then Secret Invasion showed us what Nick Fury was doing with the Skrulls on Earth. Don't worry about that. Nick Fury was a 180 degrees different character. So it just makes Skrull Invasion even more of a shit TV show. So the band from Miss Marvel helped create there are two quantum bands. That's what they're officially called. And the band that the Kree found connected all three of the Marvel characters together. So every time they used their powers, they teleported in place of where they were. And with the one that the Kree had, opened up a space portal that took only the atmosphere, the water, and potentially the sun to the Kree homeworld. So they had to destroy other systems to fix theirs.
Okay.
I didn't remember the main bad of this movie because she was a one-dimensional character. It was boring every time she popped up.
She was there to create conflict, and that's it. She wasn't there to be a character that's important, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she dies. Like, it's one of the times I'm okay with the character dying.
Damn.
They fix everything. They become buddies. Monica Rambeau gets trapped on the other side to fix the sun getting replaced. Because, we can't fix the other systems, but we have to fix Earth. Because that's the most important one to fix. Movie ends. So it was okay. I'd say wait for Disney Plus for it instead of going to the theaters. Miss Marvel, at the end of the movie, is finally assembling the Young Avengers. She meets up with Kate from the Hawkeye TV series. And is like, hey, you want to join my team? I know Ant-Man has a daughter. So the Young Avengers are coming together. Which I think we only have Ironheart, America Chavez, Hulk's kid at the end of She-Hulk, and last time we saw him, a depowered Patriot. And that's it for official characters that we have seen in the universe. I'm not counting WandaVision's kids because they have to go through a weird demon thing for them to appear.
Makes sense.
So not really the roster that everybody wanted.
It's a start.
But
it's a good start. It's got some characters that definitely could use some flushing out to be like, hey, these characters are actually important, and here's why. Plus some replacements for characters that we're probably going to lose here soon anyway.
Well, I think the Young Avengers is probably the future of the MCU if it doesn't get rebooted at this point.
It's about time.
We
could use some new talent.
I've heard some scary rumors that they're going to bring back Captain America and Iron Man in the original Avengers because they don't know what to do at this point.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, as much as we love the MCU, they're kind of hitting a wall where there's so much they can do, but there's only so much that they're able to do.
I think they just need to get rid of the TV shows, honestly. I feel like that's just dragging it down.
Yeah, because they're investing a lot of time and resources. The what ifs are fine, but I think a lot of their live action stuff does need to kind of be put on pause.
It just needs to become cartoon shows.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then they get brought to live action.
It would be better. And then they don't have to worry about, if XYZ actor has an issue in real life, because not every human's perfect. Then they don't have to worry about, we can't recast them because they were important, or we can't do this.
So, I told you Monica Rambeau got trapped on the other side when she fixed the portal to the sun. It turns out she's stuck in a different multiverse where we
Okay.
saw her mother as a brand new character. So the last time we saw her mother was in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness when she was that version's Captain Marvel. But now she is an X-Men called Binary. I don't know her powers.
Okay.
It seems like she flames on and can go to outer space. And then we see the Beast. I think it's still the same actor who played Beast last, but they CGI'd the Beast this time. So it's not the same Dark Phoenix X-Men from the last movie. It's going to be a different multiverse X-Men. Not the X-Men that we saw in the Multiverse of Madness, but maybe a version of this world with only the X-Men to serve as the grounds for Secret Wars, which at the end of it will combine the two universes and we get X-Men in the MCU. That's how they come together.
Yeah, pretty good theory. I don't have anything more on that. It's kind of out of my water.
It's just one of those cameos at the end of the MCU now where they, hey, here's this entirely new character. No, we're not going to go into anything. They're just there. But that's about it for the Marvel.
And that's our Marvel update. Honestly, a lot to look forward to. A lot to put in the past, put behind us. Overall, we're just going to have to wait, give Marvel a little more time, see if they're still going to be able to create good content like they have before, or if they're kind of kicking the bucket.